Hi, I'm Trevan McGee, and this week's movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, starring Sarah Yarkin, Elise Fisher, and Mark Burnham. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is actually a direct sequel to the original Tobe Hooper classic from 1974, and it features an updated and familiar story where a bunch of young idealists get stranded in a small Texas town where they are then chased, tortured, and murdered by Leatherface, the gigantic wordless killer who is a precursor to Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, and pretty much every masked murderer in a horror movie since. But in this modern era of socially conscious horror, how do you make a movie about a guy who wears a skin mask and kills people with a chainsaw about more than a guy who wears a skin mask and kills people with a chainsaw? Well, if you're this movie, you modernize it by painting in broad strokes or maybe broad slashes. The characters here are all paper-thin stereotypes of what people think of when they are asked to describe Gen Z. It doesn't go much deeper than that. So if you're familiar with my movie review style, I really try to find an audience for whatever movie I'm talking about. Because ultimately, I want you to see more movies. I want you to engage in this medium that has brought me so much joy over the years and hopefully brings you joy too. Which makes this review a little bit of an outlier for me because I don't really have a group that I can recommend Texas Chainsaw Massacre to. If you're a fan of the original, like I am, I think you'll be let down because there's very little that this one shares in common with Tobe Hooper's film past the title and Leatherface. If you like modern horror that has sort of a socially conscious edge to it, that's not this movie either. And so what I'm left with is a movie that it's an ultra-violent, super gory horror movie in which a guy with a human skin face mask murders a bunch of thinly sketched Gen Z stereotypes. And if that sounds like a fun time for you, then Texas Chainsaw Massacre is streaming on Netflix right now. For the rest of us, this might be a good weekend to catch one of the Oscar nominees we missed in theaters the first time. For KCTV5, I'm Trevan McGee. Thanks for watching.